So, Nathan, I got to ask you first, is with such a
Sure.
famous last name, how do you feel? Did you feel pressured from a little kid to get into show business?
Heavens no. I was born on television, and so I had no choice. It was fun. I grew up literally on the set of the Donnie and Marie shows. My dad is Alan Osmond, just to get my pedigree out there. So it's Uncle Donnie, Aunt Marie. You guys remember those guys? Anyways, my
Sure.
dad was the oldest of the group, the singing group. He has two older brothers, Verl and Tom, that were both born deaf. So they didn't do a lot of performing. So that put my dad in the leadership seat. I know you're all about leadership. Now, he didn't
Yes.
ask for that role. He was just put in there because he was the oldest that could hear. So he was the leader. I watched him on the roads. I toured with my father on the tour buses as a kid, and I just saw how much fun it was. I used to watch reruns of the Andy Williams shows. You know, we put in the little VHS tapes and watch our father and uncles perform. And it was so much fun. And we used to mimic that. I think kids naturally kind of want to grow up to do what their parents do. Not everyone does, but this was a fun job, it looked like. So we were naturally kind of drawn to it. So in impersonating them, we started singing, but not in one, but two-part harmonies. And my father's like, who taught him that? We had a natural ear for it. And so he got excited, taught us our other harmony parts. So we were a four-part harmony quartet, just like his brothers and and our uncles and my father. Well, we just went on television, did a little TV show here locally, but People Magazine wrote a little blip about it, and Bob Hope read that article. He got excited that there's another generation of Osmonds. He says, I want those boys on my show. So he put us on his show. And that was our start. That's when Curb Records signed us. We toured around as a boy band. We recorded our first album, Osmond Boys, and then Osmond Second Generation or Boisterous, and had three songs in the top 40 in the UK. We've done things like traveling on the road, doing musicals like Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat for 2 years after Donnie finished that. You know, we've done a lot of fun stuff. But then I went country. And that was back in about 2002. I started that career and went after it, as a solo artist. I didn't tell any of my family I was going out to Nashville to record with the group Lone Star. I created that opportunity to write with them originally, and then I actually turned that into the opportunity of being produced by them. And that's how I got my foot in the door in Nashville, was thanks to my buds with Lone Star. And anyways, four consecutive number one hits later, we're just going to keep doing it till we get it right. But I'm having a good time doing it. And, my father always says, you're only as good as your last show. So hopefully after this show, folks, you still want to come see us.
Well, I sure encourage people to check it out just based on in fairness, we had to persuade Nathan to get on the show, and so I had about
Twist
a
my
half
arm.
hour.
No, I'm just
That's
kidding.
right. I had about a half hour conversation with you a few weeks ago
Right.
before we could get things set up. And it's just so great visiting with you, and you're just as real off stage as you are on
Thank
stage, and
you.
I think
That's a
that's a
compliment.
lot of
Thank you.
fun. And of course, you were connected with one of my heroes, which is Bob Hope. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
grew up watching Bob Hope, and I really grew up watching Bob Hope because I think he performed until he was 92 or something.
Right.
And a great American, a great performer. And of course, as a kid, my parents loved music. I'm the oldest of seven kids, so we could kind of relate to the Osmond family. And
Yes.
we definitely watched the Andy Williams show. We watched the Lawrence Welk show with the Lennon sisters, another
Of
family
course.
act,
Good friends.
and stuff like that. So it was kind of interesting to follow the path there.